Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The sabad for recitation is Surat Mahalla Panjwa, composition of the 5th Nanak, Gur Arjan. This is the 62nd sabad in this progression. The recitation and the reflection from the top. Surat Mahalla Panjwa, Gai Bohor Bandi Chor, Nirankar Dukhdari, Karm na jana, dharm na jana, lobhi maya tari, Naam paryo bhagat gobind ka, eh rakho paij tumari. Gai Bohor Bandi Chor. So the time for returning has passed. I've missed the opportunity. Bandi Chor, the liberator of captives, the formless one, Nirankar. He is the Dukhdari, the remover of sorrow. Karma na jana, dharma na jana, lobhi maya tari. This is the state of being in which I am. I can't exclaim any virtue or righteousness. In fact, I have been driven by greed. I have been caught in the spell of Maya, lobhi, maya tari, greedy. And yet, naam paryo bhagat gobind ka, I clung to the Master's robe. Govind ka eh rakho paij tumari. So I begged, I devoted myself, and like a helpless servant, clinging to the Master's robe, I placed myself before the Master and said, let your grace uphold your name, your wisdom. Naam paryo bhagat govind ka e rakho paij tumari. This is actually a calling out to the self to help in the return from bondage. And so this is a confession of inadequacy. In the first place, there is no spiritual pride, no claim to moral superiority. Instead, there is surrender. There is admission of failure. But there is an appeal to the honor, the badge of the divine, of the self. So this is a deep spiritual gesture, letting go of ego, striving, and falling entirely on grace. And this Rahau sets the basis for this first verse as well. Har jiyo nimanaya tu maan, nichijiyan cheej kare mera govind, teri kudrat ko kurban. So addressing the self again, the Har, that evergreen consciousness, saying, Har jiyo, O beloved, nimanaya tu maan. You bestow dignity on those who have none. Nichijiyan cheej kare. Nichijiyan, those who have no existence really, cast-offs of the world. And you make something out of them. Cheej kare. Mera Govind, you are the Master. Teri kudrat ko kurban. I am awestruck. I am awestruck at how you can convert cast-offs and make treasures out of them. This is speaking to the core message, the worth. We are not being judged by social status or achievement. but the low are lifted, meaning those who have submitted. So the divine process of elevation requires the submission of the ego. Jaisa balak paye subai, lakh aparad kamave, kari upades chidke bahopati, bahor pita gal lave, pichale augan baksale, prab aage marg pave. Like a child, jaisa balak paye subai, mischievous but dear, lakh aparad kamave, committing countless wrongs, errors at every turn. Kari upades, chiding, chidke, you chide, you correct in many different ways. Bhavpati, bahor pita gallave, and yet, like a father, you draw me close to you. Pichale auguna bakasale, prab aage marg pave. So the appeal is, O compassionate one, show me the way. So this is the metaphor of the divine as a parent, patient, loving, forgiving. There is rebuke in this pedagogy, but never rejection, like a parent. And we have to accept that correction not as punishment, but as a gesture of inclusion. This is divine restoration at work. It's not retribution, and therefore the parent-child dynamic, which invites to the mind an intimate relational approach to the self. It is rooted in unconditional love, like that of a parent. The concluding verse, Hari antarjami sab bid jane, ta kis pe aakh sunaiye, कहने कथन न पीजे गोबिंद, हर पावे पैज रखाइए, अवर ओट मैं सगली देखी, एक तेरी ओट रहाइए. So here's the question. To whom should one speak or explain? किस पे आँख सुनाइए, when हर अंतर्जामी सब विद जाने? When the inner knower knows all things, to whom can you possibly speak or explain? There is none other. Kehna kathan na pijay Gobind. Words and speech do not impress the Gobind, the self, the master. So what does please the self? Har pave paj rakhave. So only what pleases the Gobind will bring us and preserve our honor. Our ot mein sagli dekhi, I have examined, looked at all ways, but they have all collapsed under the weight of my ego. So this is talking about the futility of outward pleading and pointing us to inward trust, inner connection, antarjami, that knows everything. And that antarjami is compassionate. Hoye dayal kirpal prab. It is compassion itself. It is the Thakur, it's the master. Appe sune benati. It hears us. It is not far from us. Pura Satguru mel milave, sab chuke man ki chinti. Pura Satguru, the perfect master, is graceful and brings me into sacred union. And with that, all my anxiety melts. Har har naam avkad mukh paya. So divine wisdom, har har naam, self-knowledge, the wisdom of the self, is like medicine. That is, it is like a healing elixir that is placed unto my lips. In other words, you digest, you assimilate this self-knowledge that comes from the Guru. And that is the fruit of the journey: union, healing, peace. So the self is not something abstract. It is the healer, a listener, and a guide. It is the Satgur and the bridge to Nam, and it is Nam. So it is the journey and the destination at the same time. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.